would like to stand if you don't mind. Yeah. I'm going to be talking about internet governance, inclusive growth, and sustainable development. Please permit me to tell you my story in brief so you understand how, yes, computer scientists, we should be talking about wearables, we should be talking about artificial intelligence, talking about machine learning, robotics, is really talking about something of a policy. So, I have a daughter. Actually, I'm an associate professor of computer science, and my primary area of research is software engineering. So sometimes in 2015, I returned from MIT after my postdoctoral, and I got bored doing the same thing, seeing graduate students gliding through the academic life, prepare lecture materials, go to class, teach, set exams, and all that. Then I sought to transfer my service to a smaller university where they have a new computer science department. So I was part of the group to develop the curriculum, set up the system. So I moved to North Central Nigeria. If you have been listening to news, you hear a lot about happenings in the northern Nigeria. Women are kidnapped from schools. Education is haram by some extremist groups. But I was there. I have a daughter. My daughter is 10. She's actually in 8th grade now, which is, that's Nigeria education system. It's kind of fast. And I have 2 sisters who live in the United States. So my daughter goes on summer vacation on her own, unaccompanied, every summer. Then when I moved to North Central Nigeria, I have these little kids. They don't go to school. The literacy level is practically close to 0. Because of that divide, that's they're female, they're girls, so what do they really have to offer? So you see them, they hawk goods on the streets. Then, if you purchase something of, say, $1 and you give $5, to be able to give you change, they have to draw some mark on the floor to know, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was now wondering, we're talking about the Millennium Development Goals, and a lot of people are being left behind. How can these little kids talk about wearables? How can they think about machine learning? How can they contribute to the information society? The entire world and a large part of Nigeria too is moving and moving away without them. Then in my university, I teach computer science. In some of my classes, I have less than 1% of females. As in, I could have a whole class and only males registered. Maybe you have just one who tries to sneak in occasionally and leaves. And my focus now changed. And I decided to look into a program that addresses the diversity question. So because I've been teaching in the university, I had no idea how to go about it. Then the United States government has a number of exchange programs for professional development, one of which is the Tech Women. It kind of connects women working in the area of STEM with resources in Silicon Valley to help in their professional development. So from an associate professor of computer science, I became a mentee at Google in Mountain View. I was in Google for 5 weeks, and I had to look for a number of programs and opportunities that would help with the education of these kids, and that is what I do now. So during the day, I teach. After work, go to the marketplaces, and you hear things like, we're hungry, you're bringing, but kids, they're always curious. So I give them my phones, give them our devices, teach them to count and all that. Then for my university, we had to start a project to stimulate the interest of females in the sciences and in computer science. So we go to high schools and take the mathematics and physics curriculum, teach the kids to write simple programs in Visual Basic, in C, to solve those mathematical problems, and it kind of stimulate their interest. So from the admission criteria this year, I'll be having 16 females in a class of about 100, and which to me it's something to be excited about. So that is a little bit about me. Now, for my presentation, the idea behind the Internet of Things, Internet has taken over everything.